Hi, I'm Courtney Carter, and this is my organizational design structure and change presentation assignment. So for this assignment, I chose the company SiriusXM. They're a subscription satellite radio. Straight from their website, it says American Broadcasting Company. All over the company's websites, they use all sorts of marketing techniques to say they're ever reaching to any personality and interests, and no matter your life situation, basically they say they have a subscription plan for you. So this last quote, again, straight from the company website, and they're saying, we've got plans for every kind of listener. So I do think this company struggles a little bit with their relevance and keeping a competitive edge against competitors. There's so many cheaper streaming services when it comes to iTunes, Amazon options, and some of the companies also offer other goods with their services and not just the music. One of their biggest competitors is actually Spotify. So the company underperforms severely in their social responsibility to the community and the environment. If you look up their reputation, you can find everything under the sun, from scamming customers, stealing from people, not honoring promised products. So essentially, they are just not an ethical company when it comes to business practices and customer service reputations. They make business dealings difficult, and I do think they have a low customer trust and loyalty, which these are a key component to being successful as a subscription style business, is having customer trust and customer loyalty. They're not honest to customers either. So based on those things in the company's reputation, you would think that they're struggling a little bit, but when you look up the analytics of them, they are not struggling at all. They have a typical CEO and executive team structure. They have a huge emphasis on retaining customers because 80% of their profit comes from the subscriptions. There's about 16% that comes from other companies paying them to run their advertisements, and then the rest is just labeled as other. So they have a huge reliability on their customer base, which is probably why they make it so difficult to cancel their subscriptions. But I do think with their difficulty in customer service, they probably do lose a lot of customers, and they could probably be making an even larger profit had they not been known for being so difficult and having such bad customer service. Their culture for working with the company is rated about a C. It was difficult to find any reviews from actual employees. However, I would say this is probably due to them only being concerned about shareholders and making a profit, and not caring about their employees, and probably telling employees and fostering a culture to basically just do anything to keep a customer. And I would think, being an employee for a company like that, I would have a hard time bothering people as much as they have a reputation for doing. Since 2018, they have had a steady growth in employees. They've grown about 27%. And then from 2018 to 2019, they had a pretty large profit increase. However, from 2019 and on, every year it is still an increase, but it's not quite as large of a jump as it was from that 2018 to 2019. And I think this is just from there being so many other options that have come out in the past couple of years. So their conscious culture, I would not say that they embody a conscious culture at all, or practice any things of conscious capitalistic management. All they care about is staying afloat compared to their competitors and keeping customers on their subscriptions. I can't find, again, any major complaints from employees, only major complaints from customers. But I do think they need to have a culture shift to change their reputation to not be known for ripping people off. And they do not care about their customers. I personally have a story where I feel like this is pretty much a norm in their business practices. If you read anything about their customer reviews, my grandma stopped being able to drive. So my dad had called the company to cancel her subscription. It took him hours. He had to go through all the trying to persuade him to stay. No matter how much he explained his situation about how it wasn't even for him, it's for his mom, who lives now in a retirement home. She can't drive. She might be dying soon. They still tried to pressure him into keeping his subscription. He even explained to them that he has his own subscription in his own car, and they still did not give up on trying to get him to not cancel. So much that they were going down to an astronomically cheaper price from what she was even paying at the moment. And then when he tried to ask about that price for his personal subscription, they said that that wasn't an option. When it was all said and done, hours later, he finally got the plan canceled for my grandma, and then they tried to tell him that she owed about $1 and they wanted a credit card number. He refused to pay, went through many more people to talk to, and then they finally said, okay, you don't have to pay us that $1. And now, seeing how much of a billion-dollar company they are, it is kind of ridiculous to see that they still wanted to bill a customer $1. So in the 8-step process for changing the company, there's a lot about this company I would change, but just to keep it as brief as possible for this assignment, I think for step 1, the CEO would have to make some sort of announcement or bulletin to everyone saying that they are changing the way that they do business. They're changing the way that they keep customers and going to put more of an emphasis on being ethical and having better customer service relations. They'd have to have a huge reputation change, and this isn't going to happen overnight, so this is going to be a bit of a long-term process just to change their reviews and to change their reputation in general. So for step 2, I would think something that could help them a lot is to not outsource their employees. I couldn't find much on the customer service reps and the people that you talk to on the phone and how that works with the company. However, after dealing with them personally, I am led to believe that it is an outsourced system. And I think if they could have people in whatever country that are trying to build their customers from the same country, I think that would help them a lot with customer loyalty and just communication barriers. For number 3, they need a whole new ethical code of conduct. They need a whole new way of training their employees on how they deal with the customers and customer service. Again, just the big emphasis on ethical business dealings and customer service. Number 4, I don't think it'll be a hard thing for them to change employees' mindset about the company's code of conduct. I think it will be easy to tell employees, hey, our new business strategy is not going to include ripping off customers and doing everything to keep them as a subscriber, and you don't have to bother people as much to stay as a subscriber. I think employees will easily be on board with this. So again, I think not outsourcing employees will help a lot, and to not emphasize only profit and to have a more of an emphasis on being ethical in customer service and caring about customers. It is kind of hard to think of a short-term win with this company because they already make such a huge profit, but I think a short-term win would just be to look up the company and for there to not be a bad customer review and maybe actually a couple good customer reviews where a customer didn't feel like they were being ripped off. I think that would be a short-term win. So for number 7, just sustaining the acceleration, no matter what happens profitability-wise, because it might take a short-term dip. I think you just have to stick with the new ethical way of doing business and the emphasis on customer service. You just have to keep with that value being emphasized. New employees, this is all they'll ever know, so it'll be easy to keep them on board. You'll have to concentrate more on older employees that are new to the new business practices because it will be a change for them. So they'll have to adapt, and I think it will be an easy adaptation. And then with new employees, there won't be any concern. And then making the changes stick. After the company starts getting better reviews and a better reputation, I think it will just be an easy thing for the company to keep doing. So some challenges I do foresee happening are short term, the profitability could take a bit of a dip. They're not going to have so much pressure and so much annoyance in their customer service when it comes to a customer trying to cancel. So it will be a little bit easier for customers to cancel. But once their customer service starts being better, people won't be so frustrated with them and they'll be more likely to choose that company and happy with that company. So this will long term create a more loyal and trusting customer base. Long-term customers will create more money than new customers will anyway, so that is just the key, is having a large, loyal, long-term customer base. All the subsystems of this company will have to change. They have to create a company mission and values and have a vision that emphasizes being ethical and having, again, better customer service. And that is the same thing with the business strategy. Right now, it seems like they only care about making a profit, and they need to have more care about their customers and employees. There's going to be a huge culture change. They're going to have to care about all their stakeholders, and again, not just about shareholders and making a profit. Right now, they seem just like a stereotypical cutthroat New York City business that only cares about money. And once they change their organizational culture to actually caring about employees, caring about what customers think of them, and still remaining competitive in the business, I think everything will just change for the better. So some of the lessons learned is I would obviously just embody a conscious capitalistic organization, caring about the community that we're serving, caring about customers no matter where they're coming from in life, and just having a social responsibility to not scam people. One of the biggest things that I think is annoying with subscription companies, and that should change, is they have a free trial, and then after that free trial is over, your credit card will get automatically billed without notifying you. Or sometimes they send an email that kind of looks like all the other scammer emails that you never open. There should be more of an effort to notify you that your free trial is ending and that your credit card is about to get billed. This is something I would implement right away. They will call you endlessly if you cancel to get you to resubscribe. That has got to stop, which could also help save some money in the long run because they'll probably have to have less employees hired for customer service things. I wouldn't send anything paper mail like they do all the time, constantly sending advertisements. And again, just not pestering people and making it difficult to cancel. One of the biggest things that they should not do is, if you're going to cancel, they'll give you a price to stay, which will be cheaper than what you're paying. And if you keep saying you're going to cancel, the price will go significantly lower and lower and lower. So this lets you know if you had accepted the original price, you would be being screwed over. Just the biggest thing that needs to change in their strategies is just customer service. Everything needs to emphasize customer service. Having a brand loyalty will just serve you better in the long run and will always get you more profit. Being honest to customers and respecting their decisions will create a better reputation. And then overall, I would always just have a business that creates a reputation of caring for customers. And this will create a more loyal customer base and give your business a better reputation. No one wants to deal with a business that they feel like is scamming them or other people and stealing money.